I remember I used to wonder if these were painted, like, photos, or like just a photo with a filter, if these were like actual art. And I'm still not sure. I feel like it's a straight picture that got like put inside like a weird drawing filter. It's weird. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, the gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building at Yamaku Academy with a brisk pace. I'm alone, else as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms. There's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kinds of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all the other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now, it's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley, even though I was told this is my new school. In the back of my mind, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I had stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they could say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back. Even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I can go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Niki? Nanaki? Nakai? I think it's Nakai. Why did I say Naki? It's Final Fantasy 7. Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon's probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention. But I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher's saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Right, so before, I don't remember. Okay, so I think I said before, but I'm not doing the same course. I'm not like following what I did before. I'm laying down again. I'm just gonna be picking. So do I want to introduce myself to the class? Yeah, right? It just feels normal to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal? Didn't I say that? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give my first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, which isn't a good thing considering I have a fucking heart condition. And it keeps me thinking about my condition. As I follow the teacher up the stairs. A third door down. the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Uto opens the door and enters. The fucking terrifying painting. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Hello, students. I really like the girl with the bandage on her hand. I always thought she was really cute. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are standard wooden desks, and the shelf underneath for books, which none of these have. Okay. And wooden chairs with metal frames. Again, I guess they do. Really don't. Do they? Whatever. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students, but they all look normal. Mostly. Like students in any other school. But then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb in her right hand. It's a little jarring. Here's what's her name? Ritsu from K-On! Despite the natural tendency to listen when somebody's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Very obvious main characters and a fucking crazy guy in the back. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that somebody's looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it'll make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear end of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making weird hand motions, sign language. She peers at me over the rim of her glasses, and she goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. She's so cheery. Wait, so is the cheery looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I would notice. I did notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. Sorry, I'll get back up. I noticed in the camera I'm invisible. He claps his hands together, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied with what little I did say, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps this round with her one hand, and against her wrist that ends up in a bandaged stump. Makes me feel a little bad. That's alright, man. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes... Bro, how would I know that? Why are you asking me? Teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh, right. Hakamichi's there. Shizune Hakamichi. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with the bright pink hair and the gold eyes waves her hand at me. Take a seat next to her, by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? Nice to meet you. I do remember all the characters. I can't lie about that. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's so nice to meet you too, but Shizune crosses that out like that. I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi Shichan. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. I love her design. She's so cute. This whole time, she nods, once nonchalantly to show she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully, neatly brushed hair. Her oval-shaped glasses balances on the tip of her dainty nose. Dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think that I was Shichan. Shichan's deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth to her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Why are you saying that you just saw me up there like 3 seconds ago? Well, Shichan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason. Okay, right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today so soon, Hichan. Right? Hichan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how it fits. You look just like I imagined. You look just like a Hichan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. They're going so fast. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around, and if you hadn't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with a hard word a bit. That was in character. I didn't stumble. That was Misha making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks. That would be pretty helpful. Yeah. I just came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school, either. Always. Even if it's a trip to the convenience store, right, Shichan? You're cute. Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't really look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends with a shrug. Sorry. What was that? Seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. You okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. It's how people learn things by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed the test. Alright. And another thing. You don't have to call Shichan something so formal like Hakamichi or a class rep all the time. Just call her Shichan. Huh? Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep. Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. You don't have to like directly translate what I'm saying. You can just say whatever. It's fine. I feel a little more at ease, a lot more at ease. But both of them are so friendly. I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I had assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, but just less so, I guess. What? Oh, right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We start working now, or she challenging that. The assignment is also kind of long. Should we start now if we want to finish it before the end of class? That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know a sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment's actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than everyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha's a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work, and I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto down the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems far too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic interior. The words come out really clear for some reason. Its big windows open to the courtyard toward the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed. I'm sorry about this. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students with special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick at something at random, and fellow Shizune is at a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble differently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me to the side to get my attention and points at Shizune. Understand sign language, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite. Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're a guide, so you should feel free to ask if there's something. I wonder. Russian deafness. I think I got everything I need to know. Everything I need to know seems like, because I don't know anything. Deafness seems very forward and like a really sensitive topic, so I'm just going to ask about the library. Just because the other two seem a little wrong. Oh yeah, is there a library at the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives a kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. Why isn't reading a healthy hobby? There is. There's a second. It's on the second floor. We can show you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talking between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth, animatedly throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret cool stuff or something. Quickly notice a conversation in sign that is not enough to fill silence. What? I thought the music stopped. I thought something like dramatic was about to happen. We arrived in the classroom early, but we're not the first. That dark-haired girl, she's super cute. I noticed before we slumped over her desk in the last row. Ah. She jumps when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel the tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from her presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, and they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her. Even when the classroom slowly fills with other students, finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how it's done, but my body doesn't. Toward the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. Me too, as hell. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. I feel like that's the one day of school that you should be like the most tired, right? Because like being tired in the middle of school is like fine, because you know it's like super busy and whatever, but like first day is like right when you're back from any break or whatever, the hospital, where you can do whatever you want, sleep whenever you want. So I think you're definitely allowed to be tired your first day back. Maybe it's a long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I feel like every time I start to explain something and I don't read what he's saying, he always, or somebody always kind of gives the point that I was trying to make, but I'm feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns towards me. Unfortunately, we can't stay behind and show you around today, Hee-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? Well, we can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of the students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out the senior classrooms, the same hallway as ours.